Remember, violence is never a solution.
Retro gaming is a fun hobby, and lots of people have made devices over the years to sort of streamline the experience a bit. It's not hard to see why if you visit the collection of any retro geek. One such device is the RetroStone by Pierre-Louise. Pretty nifty device for having most retro consoles in a single package, but it can be a bit tough to wrap your head around. With that in mind, we present our tutorial on how to get this thing up and running.
When you first get your RetroStone, you should have the unit itself, a memory card inside it, an adapter for SD card readers, and a bunch of random buttons if you want to unscrew the thing and mess around with its sweet insides. So, take out all that crap and mainly ignore it. Just remove the micro SD card from the side and put it into your computer using whatever you happen to have to hand. Okay, so the first thing you'll need to do is make sure that the memory card is clean. Usually you could just format it to get it clear, but since we want to install an operating system on it, it's best to go that extra mile. So, go to your search bar, find CMD and click on it. Now, type in disk part to open the Windows Disk Partitioning program. Then, type list disk, and you should be able to tell which of the listed disks is your memory stick by the amount of space it has available. Be aware, if you identify the wrong disk and do the following, you can seriously damage your computer and lose data, so be careful. Now, type select disk and then the number of your memory stick. Then, type clean. Now your memory stick is all clean and clear. The last thing we need to do before we install all of our goodies is creating a new primary partition. Easy enough, just type create partition primary. If this fails for some reason, you can just start over by cleaning the disk and trying to create the partition again. So now we need to download a couple of things. First thing is the OS itself, and then you'll need the writing program as well, both of which can be found in the links in the description. Once you've downloaded the files you need, then you simply install Etcher and follow the simple on-screen instructions. Once it's finished and is verified, you can just put it back into your RetroStone and you should be good to go. If at any point during setup or use of your RetroStone there is a fatal error that stops it from running, you can do this again to fix the machine, but you will lose any files that were on it at the time. Now that you have the OS installed, things should be pretty simple. Just slot the memory stick inside and turn the thing on. You should see a whole bunch of stuff scrolling across the screen, or in some cases just a blank screen, and then a splash screen. But if you wait long enough, it'll eventually get to the opening splash screen, and then the main menu. It goes without saying that at all costs you should avoid having to turn the machine off during installation, or you might have to start the whole process again. And there we have it. Your RetroStone is now up and running and ready to play some games. How do you get the games on there, I hear you ask? Well, the answer is another memory stick. You get some games put on your memory stick, legally only of course, and then stick the memory stick inside one of the USB ports on the top of the device. With that done, you press start on the main menu and select desktop mode, take machine into desktop PC mode. At this point you will need to plug a mouse in to make copying the files possible. You can also plug in a keyboard if you want to change any file names or anything, but trust me, the mouse is the only thing you actually need. Now you simply navigate to the folders with the ROMs on your memory stick, copy them, and paste them into the correct folders in the RetroPie/ROMs area. You might find that some consoles have several different folders for them, so this part might take some trial and error, but eventually you can get the hang of things and how they all work. While the RetroStone does have internet capabilities, it suffers from a lack of Wi-Fi, which you may be able to fix with a USB Wi-Fi adapter, but I haven't had a chance to test this yet. For now, your best bet is to plug it into an Ethernet cable, or I suppose plug an Ethernet cable into it. Doing this means that you can actually download files directly onto the machine, instead of doing it on your PC then copying them via a memory stick. There's no setup required for the Ethernet cable, you just plug it in and you should be ready to go. Another interesting thing you can do if you're so inclined is to download special themes for the RetroStone, or more specifically Emulation Station, which is the software that the OS boots into automatically. Go to the settings menu located here in RetroPie, then scroll down to ES Themes. Once open, you can scroll down to see a list of the different themes you have available. You may notice that the text is slightly cut off, and that is because of the small resolution of the screen, so you may want to do this in HDMI mode, which we'll cover soon. Also, it's important that you remember two things. Firstly, these themes aren't all going to be readable and look all that good on the native screen. Again, they're not designed for the low resolution. And secondly, this will only work if you are either plugged into the Ethernet or you have tried and tested the Wi-Fi adapt thing. This menu actually downloads them from a server, so, you need the internet for it. Once you've downloaded a bunch of stuff from the themes menu, back out to the main menu and press start to shut down or restart the machine. This will make sure that the themes you've downloaded will show up. Once you've started back up again, just press start, scroll down to UI settings and theme set. This should give you a list of all of the sweet little themes you just downloaded. For HDMI mode, you have to use something called the bash tool. Go into the RetroPie menu, then scroll down until you reach the Retro Orange Pi section. Then go down twice to bash tool, then select run. You'll be brought to a menu similar to the themes one, again with some stuff cut off. Select the top option, and once it has started to reboot, you can plug your HDMI in. You should see a bunch of text scrolling as it boots, or again the standard splash screen depending on which version you're using, and then it should take you to the familiar main menu screen that you've already seen. If you want to go back to using the built-in screen, go back to the bash tool and select the option labelled NTSC with analog audio brackets overscan fixed, as this is the only option that gets you back to the way your RetroStone is supposed to work. If you accidentally select one of the other ones, then you'll either have to guess your way back to the bash tool, which trust me, isn't easy at all, or to completely reinstall the OS. The last major point to discuss is setting up controllers. If you plug in pretty much any USB controller, whether it's wireless like the Xbox 360 controllers, or some wired thing like this fake SNES controller I bought off of eBay, they all seem to work by default, although I haven't tried an Xbox One or PS4 pad yet. To get them working with the RetroStone, you have to set them up. With your controllers plugged in, go to the start menu and press Configure Controllers. Then hold the button on your controller and it'll go to input mapping. Press the buttons you need to map as they come up and you'll be golden. If you're mapping a controller without all of the buttons, like this SNES one, just use the buttons on the device itself to skip past the stuff you don't want mapping. I also highly recommend that you map the last option on the list to select, as that is the modifier key you use to control things in emulators, like quitting or save stating. With that all done, you should remember to always shut down your RetroStone properly via the pause menu to prevent it from developing fatal problems. I hope you all have fun with your shiny little Ultra Game Boys out there. Comment below if you've got any issues and I'll see if I can help you out. And let me know if you've got any other tutorials you'd like to see in the future. Feel free to check out the unboxing video I did of the RetroStone for the folks over at Gaming Respawn, and there should be a link in the description to the full written review.